my beautiful rosebuds. It's your favorite rosebud, the one and only Niecy K. And I am here to go over gossip with you today. And yeah, stay tuned.
Perfect.
All right, my rosebuds. So if you just saw the prior clip, you know that this discussion we about to go over right now is in regards to Dwight Howard getting put on full blast by his supposed ex-boyfriend, Masin Elije. I'm not sure how to say this last name. It is spelled Elije. That's the last name, but we gonna stick with Masin. So I do want to go ahead and I want to put this out now. Masin did come forward because it's been rumors and it's been going around, and you know there's been reports that he was a transgender. He's not a transgender. There's a discussion about a transgender that we're going to talk about, but he's not the transgender. He is actually just a gay boy who happens to like weave. So he is constantly wearing weave and he has long hair. But he's not a transgender. He doesn't have the boobs. He hasn't gone through the surgery. He doesn't take the hormones. So he's not. But anyway, so what is going on is dude Masin has come out on Twitter, and he has a lot of Twitter stuff going, like different Twitters where recordings and stuff like that, and he is putting Dwight Howard on blast. Now he claims that he came out because his life is being threatened, he's being sexually harassed, and he's being manipulated. And he was like, this is by somebody that he once respected, which is, you know, his ex-boyfriend, NBA player Dwight Howard. And it's also that he has problems with his camp and the pastor. And we're going to get further into that discussion on what's going on. Right now, what we're going to talk about is how little old Masin and Dwight Howard met each other. But he does specify, and of course y'all are seeing the Twitter exchange, well, not exchange, but the Twitter conversation where he posted everything. But he does pretty much state that he is pretty much not trying to come out against Dwight Howard per se. He really has the issue with Dwight Howard's pastor and his team because of how they are coming at him over a unsigned NDA and trying to intimidate him because he won't sign the NDA, and trying to convince him to take hush money so that they can have this over his head if, you know, anything was to ever come out. But he ain't doing it, and now he done got tired, and so he's exposing Dwight Howard and his people. So if Dwight Howard gets mad, he probably should sit there and say something to his team, because you can't sit here and push somebody and push somebody and push somebody. You're gonna push them over the edge, and that's what it looks like he done did with Masin, because now Mason's spilling all the tea. Masin is sitting here talking about how he met Dwight at Wildin' Out. They met at Wildin' Out, and they, you know, sitting there, Masin with his girls or his people, his crew, they having fun, they doing what they do. He look over, he see Dwight Howard, you know, Dwight looking like he want to touch. So he like, ah. And so, of course, he gonna go in there and, you know, he gonna try to see what's up. Like, what's up? Like, you a football player? Not football player, I'm sorry. Lie. He's a basketball player. You got money. You fine. Let's see what's up. I personally don't think he looks that good, but you know, that's just my opinion. But Masin wanted to see what was up. And so Masin told him to hit him up on his fake page so that their conversations wouldn't get leaked, and he calls it a Finsta. But he asked him to pretty much hit him up on his fake page because he was trying to be respectful. He didn't want, you know, him to be exposed or anything. And so they end up talking because Dwight hits up them DMs literally a few days later. And they're conversating. They're, you know, everything's going good. You probably gonna see at some point where it's posted, because it shows that he's showing that he's talking to Dwight Howard, and he goes to the page just to show you that he's talking to Dwight Howard from the screen record. So that might be on here, pop up on here soon, because I got that. Look, when I tell you I went out here and I did my digging and I grabbed as much as I could. I grabbed as much as I could for this story. But anyway, so they hit it off because at Mason's own words, he sat there and said he's fine. He's 6'11". He was goofy. He was charming. He ain't had no wife, ain't never been married. And so he like, shoot, I'm interested. He thinking everything cool. He thinking they got an understanding. But obviously that understanding wasn't what Masin thought it was. Because what ends up happening is, as things are going, progressing, because he thinks they're in a relationship, he thinks things are going good, he thinks this is the man of his dreams and everything's going to be perfect. So as things progress, he ends up finding out that Dwight Howard ain't out here trying to be a one-man dude. He ain't out here trying to stick with one. He out here slanging the peen to any and everybody who would take it. And allegedly, it was with transgendered women and male. It was just different people. It was women too, I'm assuming. But they had a conversation about that. So check this out and I'll be right back.
I want to live in consistency of normalcy. You know what I mean? Not talking about other people, not getting into all that other stuff. Not. You don't have to feel threatened. Like, first of all, I'm not going to jeopardize my life, my career, and everything that I work for. But I do have people that I love, genuinely, that depend on me, that I'm going to have to take care of in life. So, regardless of what hell's going on, never have to face, like, there's some things that you don't compromise your integrity, just doing the right thing, when other people don't. That's just, so I say all that to say that, you don't have a reason to be feeling like is your life in jeopardy, talking to me, and vice versa. I don't want to feel like that.
All right, so when I told you guys Masin came with receipts, Masin came with receipts. So in addition to what we just listened to, as you see on the screen right now, he comes with a picture. This is a transgender. He puts it as, this is a transgender prostitute who has also been, doing her thing with Dwight Howard. And they also had an understanding. So Mason's starting to realize, like, oh, okay, I'm not the special guy. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one that you want to be with. You out here doing you. You out here being with different women. You out, like I said prior, you out here slanging this peen around to any and everybody. But then again, like I said, she's not a prostitute, the one that ended up coming out. So he had to correct that. And then they end up having a discussion about the cheating. They end up going into that. And here is that conversation. So you guys listen to that and I'll be right back.
HIV out there, it's herpes out there, it's other STDs out there, and you're going to sex parties fucking people raw. Like, what type of fucking man did your mother raise you to be a man like that? Did your father raise you to be a man like that? Yeah, my gosh, that's all you can say. And you know that I'm not lying, because if I was lying, you would say, you're lying, you're lying, you're lying. You're lying. And you know I'm not lying. Just keep it real.
Most people have to fight for credibility and I don't have to do that when I know who I am.
No, oh my God, I literally have been speaking to you for, oh my God, I've been speaking to you for some time now, Dwight. I sent you nudes of me, Dwight. I sent you nudes in general, Dwight. You told me that you wanted to be fucked in your ass, Dwight. You told me that you want to suck dick, Dwight. You have been flirting, Dwight. You knew what I was, Dwight. So what the fuck are you talking about? Am I lying?
I don't remember none of that.
Oh, now you got amnesia. Oh my God, you
So y'all just heard that exchange that went on between Masin and Dwight Howard when Masin was confronting him and going off on him about the whole messing with other people. I mean, as you see, he's very angry. He's talking about how there's diseases out here. I did not agree with him coming at Dwight saying, is this how your mother or your father, like, you cannot blame his, like, I understand there's situations where the parents, you know, they could have did better to raise their children to where they would have came out differently. But then there's just those times where the parents do everything that they can and they take care of them children and they give them the world, and the children still, they're gonna come out, they're gonna do what they want to do. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. So you really can't fault the parents about that. But it was hilarious to me that the way Masin was all like, you said that you wanted to be fucked in the ass or the bottom or whatever ass, Dwight, that you liked peen, Dwight, like that you want to suck peen, Dwight. I was like, ooh, you putting him on complete and utter blast. Complete another blast. So as you see, this is the point where Masin starts explaining that him and he thought him and Dwight's relationship was over. But things take an interesting turn. So I'm guessing this is when they were trying to push, because he originally signed once, but I guess that expired. They wanted him to sign another one. He was refusing to sign an NDA. And so, of course, because he was refusing to sign an NDA, he dealt with a lot from Dwight Howard threatening him and stuff like that, as he said. Then he goes into being stalked. And he's getting calls from random numbers that he don't know. He's dealing with all of this BS and people coming for him. And then he ends up running into or dealing with the pastor Calvin. And here's that exchange. So you guys listen to that and I'll be right back.
And at the end of the day, how we know what you got ain't Photoshop? How we know what you are? We can't even believe what you are. You a goddamn man with a beard on. We can't even believe your personality. Let alone what the heck you do. Wow. You're a goddamn freak. That's what you are. You a freak and the truth ain't it. Wow. Now, the next faggot that you lay down with, bend over and tell us that. Wow. There ain't nobody gonna bump with you. You done lost your cotton ticket mind. Wow. That's why you never talked to the white sucker. That's why you never heard from the white sucker. That's why you ain't never been flown on that. Because if you knew anything about the white, he doesn't have an appetite. That's the women, if you don't fit that in. That's a hard, real smart boy. No, it's not. I can respect it. Yes, it is, son. Yes, it is, son. I can respect it. But you see how upset you are? First of all, I don't live. You continue to say that I live in Atlanta, but I don't live in Atlanta. I live in New York, so that's how I know that you really don't know where I'm at. I'm gonna find a new residence.
Just putting the disclaimer out there, guys. I am currently smoking my black, but you heard that exchange with Dwight Howard's pastor Calvin, I think is his name, and the Masin dude. So as you see, it did turn a little like, you know, he was kind of being kind of homophobic, talking about your man in a wig, and you know, you don't even know what you want to be here and all that other stuff. It was a little, not a little, it was a lot of overboard. Like, there's a lot of things that he said that he ain't need to say. It was disrespectful. It ain't nothing to sit here. Like, you can have your opinion and stuff like that, but I just feel like there's a way to be respectful about the situation. But it is what it is. Like, you cannot get mad at this man if he does not want to sign an NDA disclosure. Like, dude, just live your life and be out there. And, you know, if that's what you like, that's what you like. But I honestly think this has to do with, especially like I mentioned prior, that his baby mama Reese came out saying that he was gay. Came out saying that he was hold on. She came out saying that he was gay. She came out saying that he liked boys. And he sued her for defamation of character. I think he won that lawsuit. I'm not quite sure. Or did it even go all the way? But regardless. Anyway, he had a lawsuit against her for defamation of character because she said he's gay. And looky here. It obviously seems like she's been telling the truth. She was right. He was gay. He out here doing what he do. Like, and there's nothing wrong with it. If you like men and that's what you want to do, then do you. Just be honest. But that's my thing too, is like what I'll sit here as a society, we judge so much to where you literally have people scared to tell you what they like and what they don't like, because they're worried about how you're going to judge them and how you're going to treat them and what you're going to say about them. But it's ridiculous. Like, let people live, let people do them, let people do what they want. Like, as long as it's not hurting you, why do you have anything to say about what some other person is doing in their bedroom? Why do you have something to say about who somebody is all up on if it ain't you? That has always been my concern on that. Is like, me, I am not gay. I love men. I have a husband. I have children. Like that, I love men. But I don't have a problem with gay people, and I can be around gay people, and I don't judge their lifestyle or anything, because what they do has nothing to do with me. I have to worry about me, because at the end of the day, when I go to those pearly gates and I stand before God, I am not going to sit here and be judged on what they did. I'm going to be judged on what I did. So the only person that I need to worry about is myself, besides my family. But as far as like, them being safe and stuff like that. But, in those type of instances, the only person that I need to worry about is myself. I don't need to worry about what somebody else is doing in their bedroom. So that's how I look at that. Like, with how society is, this man is like literally scared to come out and say how he really is, because he's scared of getting made fun of. He's scared of getting clowned. He's scared of losing everything that he's worked so hard for. And it's sad that he even has to feel that way. And I thought it was hilarious, because there was a time where he actually had to sit out for a bottom injury. And so now they've been making fun of him, talking about, oh, was the bottom injury really you got your back blown out? Them cheeks were blown out. And I'm just like, wow. That was kind of funny. But anyway, to my opinion on Masin letting everything out, do I agree and say, oh, hey, like, you did the right thing? Like, no, because you should never out anybody. Like, they should be able to come out and say what it is on their own time and when they're ready. But the thing is, I feel like, especially if all of that stuff is true, it's like, not true, obviously, we have the recordings and stuff like that, but if this man is feeling like his life is being threatened and he's feeling like he's not safe, then what can we really say? Like, at that point, there is even a tweet where he comes out and says that he is doing this because if something happens to him, he wants them to look in the right areas, and he's pointing at Dwight and his people. So Dwight needs to get this under control, because at the end of the day, especially if these people are doing this to her for him, this can come back on him. If you get what I'm saying. This can end up affecting him in a negative manner. So he does need to get this under control. He does need to get this figured out. It makes me no different if the man is gay or not, because I'm sorry, like, I mean, what he does is what he does, and at the end of the day, I'm a taken woman, so I ain't sitting here checking for nobody. So honestly, I would say he should be able to do him without having any worries, but we know that's not how this world is. Masin should have allowed him the ability to come out and tell his own story, but at the end of the day, Masin had to come out to protect himself, and if this is what he needed to do to protect himself, to shed light on what was going on, even though personally I probably would have just spoken to immediate friends and family, people that I know, and like, you know, giving them anything that they needed, to where if something did happen to me, they can point the people into the right direction. You know what I'm saying? But he felt that he had to do what he had to do. So I'm not going to fault him for that. But I mean, it is ridiculous. Now, I do want to point out some things, since we have to be fair. There was a situation that came out where it was advised that Masin has made claims against another person. I can't remember this person's name. I'm pretty much saying that he had hooked up with them, and it came out to be false. As well as he does have a book called Industry Ho that has been out. So I am giving you this little tidbit so that you guys are aware and know, because again, there's claims that he is just trying to extort Dwight Howard, and he's trying to, you know, use him to get famous, I guess is what they're trying to say. And so he denies it. He says this book was selling before he even put this out on blast, and that wasn't the case. But I do want to tell you guys that, so you do know the entire story and everything that's going on. But all right, guys, gonna go ahead and end this here. I do thank you guys so much for staying tuned to this rant, because as you know, I call them rants. Sorry, my dog's barking. As you know, I call these rants. I do thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you stuck through with this, I love you for it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your opinion. Tell me if you agree with what I'm saying. If not, give me your opinion. Maybe you can give me some info that I wasn't aware of that might make me change how I feel about the situation. But at the same time, we're all adults, so we can be respectful. And if at the end we still do not come to the same agreement, we can just agree to disagree. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end this. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. Everything that I am on is GossipBud87. So follow me on my social medias. It don't hurt nothing. I post a lot, especially on Instagram. So follow your girl. And I do thank you so much for tuning in. You guys have a good night. And until the next video, bye. All right, Rosebuds, that's it. I'm your favorite Rosebud, Nisi K. I do want to thank you so much for tuning in, and like, share, and subscribe. And follow your girl on her social media sites. It don't hurt nothing. All social media is GossipBud87. All right, guys. Bye.